Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's good to have you here. I hope you're all keeping well. It's me, Cal, your personal travel size lawyer, and today we're talking about something that's going to hit a lot of drivers where it hurts, specifically electric vehicle drivers. You are in for a shock. Massive new tax rules are imminent. This is not one you're going to want to miss, and let's get straight into it. Okay, look, from April 2025, a major change is coming to your tax rules, your car tax rules. And if you drive an electric vehicle, you might be in for a nasty surprise. More than 850,000 people in the UK are now driving electric cars, and every single one of them is potentially about to lose their free road tax. In the next few minutes, I'll explain what the rules used to be and what's changing now. I'll explain what you can do and what you cannot do about it, and bring us to a reasonable conclusion in my final section, which is it still worth buying electric? Listen closely and let's get right into it. So here's the truth. For years, the government wanted us to go electric, right? EVs were seen as a clean, quiet, and future-proof investment. And to encourage that switch, they came with perks. The biggest one, zero road tax. So whether you drove a Tesla or a Nissan Leaf or even a little Renault Zoe, you paid nothing in vehicle excise duty, which is the tax you pay just for keeping the car on the road. And that made sense at the time. But the government is now saying the number of electric vehicles is rising so fast. So instead of being a green bonus, they now see this as a massive tax gap. You know how they are, and they're moving fast to close on it. So what is changing? Well, from the 1st of April 2025, all newly registered electric cars start paying vehicle excise duty, just like petrol and diesel cars. And here's what that actually means in pounds and pence. So in the first year, you'll pay the same as the lowest emission band. So the first year, that's £10, right? But from the second year onwards, it jumps to the standard rate of £190 a year, and that's expected to rise with inflation. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so what if I already own an electric vehicle? Will I be spared? Well, no, not really. If you registered your electric vehicle before April 2025, then yes, you won't pay that first year charge. But if it was any time after April 2025 onwards, then you'll have to start paying the £190 standard rate that I mentioned, just like everyone else, just like petrol and diesel cars. So even early adopters aren't safe of the change. And here is another little twist, guys. The expensive car penalty is back. So the government are also removing the expensive car exemption for electric vehicles right now. What do I mean by that? Well, if you buy a petrol and or diesel car worth more than £40,000, then you have to pay a so-called luxury car supplement, which is an extra £390 per year for 5 years. That's no small amount, to be honest, guys, is it? And £40,000 isn't a massive amount of money for a car anymore. I certainly wouldn't call them luxury. Now, previously, that was just for petrol cars, and electric cars were exempt from this penalty. But from April 2025, you guessed it, there won't be any more. So look, to help you understand this, I'm going to provide you with a really short example. Okay, so let's say you bought a £45,000 Tesla in 2025. What will you pay? Well, you'll pay £10 in the first year, assuming you registered it before April 2025, like I said. You'll pay £190, it's a standard rate thereafter, and now plus your £390 of expensive luxury car supplement. That's a total of £580 per year in tax, guys, for years 2 to 6. Ouch. That used to be the price of my mortgage a few years ago, back in the good old days. And this really annoys me because, let's be real, a lot of people were told that electric vehicles were the future. People switched early, they paid more up front, they dealt with public charging, which still barely works in many areas, and all in good faith. And now they're being told, thanks for switching, here's your tax bill. To me, it just doesn't feel fair, any of this. It feels very, very strategic to me, because with fuel duty revenue dropping, the government is now trying to, I think, claw back money from wherever it can, and I think EV drivers are now in those crosshairs. Now, as always, I do want to try and help people and explore options for what you can actually do about it. But guys, unfortunately, this time, the truth is there's not a massive amount you can do here. Can you avoid this tax completely? No. If you already own an EV, you can't any longer avoid those new charges, as we are now past April 2025. There's no legal way around it, and the rules apply to all vehicles. So if you're considering buying an electric car and want to maximize savings on tax, you may want to avoid models over £40,000 if possible. if you want to avoid that luxury car supplement penalty, which I told you about, which is a lot of money. Consider leasing instead of buying is a better option so that your tax payments are all bundled into your fixed costs. But the truth is, look, this is just a fact of life now. Just like council tax, just like income tax, you now have vehicle excise duty on your electric cars. For all you smart people who have watched to this point, this information can now allow us to reach a very reasonable conclusion on the following question. Is it still worth going electric? And this is really important. So is it still worth going electric? Well, in all honesty, and in my opinion, absolutely yes. And I'll tell you why. Even with this new tax, EVs still have way lower running costs. Electricity is still way cheaper per mile than petrol. They have far fewer moving parts in them. So, you'll spend less on maintenance. And with the 2035 petrol and diesel ban that's looming, this is still the direction the world is going in. But, and it's a big but, you need to go in with eyes open now, guys. EVs are no longer a tax-free golden child of the road. So to sum up very quickly before we finish, number one, from April 2025, all electric cars will pay road tax. Number two, most will pay £190 per year, with luxury cars paying £580 a year. There's no avoiding that tax. It's too late. April has passed. Now, guys, I want to hear from you on this topic. Are you an electric vehicle driver? Did you switch for the tax perks? Are you now thinking twice? So drop your thoughts in the comments. You might help someone else decide what to do or what not to do. If you've liked or learned or taken anything of value from this video, guys, as always, don't forget to subscribe. And remember, this content is educational. It's not a substitute for qualified legal advice. That said, I'll see you in the next video.